Madam Secretary, let's be honest for once. If this is your idea of law and order, I would hate to see what lawlessness looks like. You came in here and told us, eyes straight ahead, hand up, that your agency is going after the worst of the worst. Cartel bosses, violent felons, dangerous criminals, and then we roll the tape. Not a cartel boss, not a terrorist, not some worst of the worst. A Marine's mom, a green card holder who's lived here nearly 50 years. Her crime? 2 bad checks for less than $80. A decade ago. That's your public enemy number 1. Then we see a father of 3 U.S. Marines. A landscaper who's been here 30 years with no record. Not even a speeding ticket. Slammed to the ground by federal agents. Hit in the head and neck. Thrown into an unmarked car like we're watching a kidnapping, not a lawful arrest. Your department rushes out a statement accusing him of assaulting federal officers, swinging a weed whacker at their faces. But the video we just watched, somehow it missed the part where he's this violent supervillain. Funny how that works. And then there's George. Born in California, served this country in Iraq. On his way to work, just trying to live his life. He hits an immigration checkpoint in his own country. So what do your people do? Tear gas, window smashed, pepper spray in his face, dragged out of his car, held for 72 hours. No charges, no shower, no apology. An American citizen, treated like an enemy on the wrong side of a border that only exists in your talking points. But when we ask you about it, you sit in that chair and say with a straight face, "We have never detained or deported an American citizen." Ma'am, what do you call a citizen locked up for 3 days, gassed, beaten, and dumped back out with no explanation? A hotel guest? You can play word games all you want. We temporarily detained them while we verified their identity. We always follow federal court orders. We've never violated an injunction. But the families in those videos aren't living in your carefully focused grouped language. They're living with bruises, with PTSD, with empty chairs at the dinner table while mom or dad sits in a detention center over a paperwork glitch or a 10-year-old mistake. And then, just to add insult to injury, you want to lecture us about respecting law enforcement, while your agents are out here gassing vets, roughing up Marine dads, and grabbing citizens who happen to look like the people your base is afraid of. You say critics are demonizing ICE. No, your policies are demonizing ICE. Your refusal to admit what we can all see with our own eyes is what's putting a target on those badges. Because here's the truth you don't want to say out loud. If you really were only going after the worst of the worst, we wouldn't be meeting the Marine's mother, the Marine's father, the Iraq veteran citizen, all chewed up by your system. If you really were following every court order, we wouldn't have judges using words like unlawful and in violation of this injunction to describe what your department is doing. So no, Madam Secretary, I'm not going to sit here and clap for your success rate at the Supreme Court, while people who serve this country come home just to be treated like suspects in their own driveway. You can keep saying we've never detained an American citizen, but every time you do, every Marine family in those videos hears exactly what you're really saying. Their service is good enough for your speeches, just not good enough for you to admit what's being done to them in your name.